Suka hui blach, holy cow, it is cold here. This is Luke Radowski of wearechange.org here in Brooklyn. Watching this, why are you watching my mug? Let's enjoy the sunset. But in this particular video, I wanted to take this time and opportunity to address an important question that one of the people who watches our live stream asked us. Now, if you don't know this, we actually do 2 hours of live streaming on different platforms where we play video games, engage in conversations, look at news stories. And one of the broadcasts, someone was telling me about feeling down and feeling disparaged. And he asked me, Luke, how do you have hope in this world? And my short response to that question was, how can you not have hope in this world? In many instances, you create your own reality. And why would you create one with pessimism? Why would you create one that's not filled with hope? But that's kind of a disparaging answer, because it's essentially telling someone who's hurt, hey, stop being hurt, dummy. Why are you hurt? And that's not the type of answer I want to give. And I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you about 3 specific realizations and steps that I take that makes me a serial optimist. Now, if you know me, or if you're one of my friends, you know that I'm optimistic no matter what. I'm always going to look at the brighter side of any kind of situation that I'm in, almost stupidly. Always, there's a different side of the story that we're not seeing that, to me, has to be a good one, has to be a positive one. Now I can also get in my moods too and get cranky sometimes, so I'm not always the happy-go-lucky person. I don't think anyone is. And the first thing is understanding that it's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up for it, and beating yourself up is one of the ways that, continues to put you in this kind of low vibrational cycle that you should snap out of. But the bigger thing that I wanted to talk about, the first thing that I wanted to talk about, is realization. Realizing that you're responsible for your own feelings, and you're probably feeling like this because of the way that you process information. Just like you could eat good food and feel good, if you eat bad food, you'll feel bad. And I believe the same thing is happening specifically in the Western world when it comes to information. And a lot of us are consuming really bad information. If you look at the discourse in this country, it is still predominantly controlled by special interests on behest of the mainstream media. So the mainstream media, the prostitutes, the horse stream media, as I like to call them, they're huge conglomerate industries are in their death throes. They're going down. They're losing their power. They're losing their significance. They're losing their money. In their decline, they're screaming on their top of their lungs for any kind of significance, trying to get back to that former influence that they had, and they're fighting tooth and nail. In some ways they're effective, especially with YouTube doing their bidding. But the special interest that doesn't have your best interest at heart, what are they putting out? They're putting out hyperbolic, sensational bullcrap. They are the ones controlling and leading the conversation, and the conversation is always divisive. It always highlights and shows you the most negative, horrible aspects of society, and not the aspects that are the reality of our life, but the aspects that will get you to click, that will get your attention more than anything else. This is an important distinction, because people are talking about news fatigue, being tired of the 24/7 breaking news, Wolf Blitzer, impeachment is imminent, there's Russian collusion somewhere here underneath a rock, we're gonna find it somehow, some way. That bullcrap is exactly what it is. It's trash. It's meant to, of course, affect you in many negative ways, and it is having severe negative consequences on our society. And if you are processing that information nonstop without critically thinking about it, without giving yourself a break to sit down, step away from it, to go for a walk and to realize it, which most Americans don't. Most Americans think watching Netflix is somehow akin to them resting their brain. It's not. When you're watching a psychological thriller, or when you're watching a a murder horror story, your brain is actively working. You're not giving your brain a work. And the more tired your brain is, the more susceptible it is to trash. And the mainstream media produces trash. They control the conversation. They put out that trash that highlights a lot of negative things that deflate you of any positivity, deflate you of any hope, deflate you of anything good and holy. Now, whether they're doing this for money or power, or if there's a grander conspiracy, I don't want to get into that. But the first step that you need to do is to understand how you process information and take some time out for yourself. When you wake up, don't grab the phone, meditate. Throughout the day, take some time and just process what you're going through, assess your life, and really take some time to look into yourself, your physical, mental, and spiritual health, and see how you can improve on it. That's step one. Step two, realizing that the world is not a bad place as many people make it out to be. Like, look at this place. It's beautiful. An amazing sunset. There's people walking with their families and loved ones, having an incredible time. You're not going to hear this announced by Wolf Blitzer. You're not going to hear this. And you're not going to hear the fact that humanity and civilization, by and large, especially in our life and our quality of life, are doing better than ever. Statistically, when it comes to education, life expectancy, all of those statistics are going up. When we're talking about murders, homicide, poverty, crime, all those statistics are going down. We're living in one of the most peaceful, incredible times of our existence as a human species on this freaking planet. But you won't hear that on the mainstream media because that doesn't sell headlines, that doesn't get eyeballs, that doesn't get clicks. But that's an important realization a lot of people need to make, because when you really look at the greater picture, when you really go outside and you see people exercising, you see people walking around, hanging out with their families, the world's a more beautiful place, especially when you get out there, travel a little bit. The world's a more beautiful place than the media makes it out to be. It's not as scary and dangerous as they tell you it is. Now, of course, there's some dangerous areas, there's some sketchy areas. Trust me, I should know that. But overall, by and large, when you go out for a walk, when you look around, not as bad as they make it out to be. The third thing, and this is the most important thing, this, of course, is gratitude. This is, I would say, the most important thing. I've been practicing gratitude for over 6 years now, and you're probably questioning yourself, well, what do you mean practicing gratitude? Well, it's not like practicing free throws. Practicing gratitude for me means every night before I go to sleep, I write down 5 things that I am grateful for that happened to me that day. And I've been doing this for over 6 years. I have a calendar and a schedule where I write down all the important appointments I have, all the important dates that I have to follow up in. And in that calendar, I always make sure it's a big calendar. There are always 5 things that I am extremely grateful for that has happened to me. And I literally rewire my brain to focus and concentrate and to manifest the things that I am most happy about, the things that I am most grateful about. Now, there's a reason many woo-woo hippie speakers, a lot of self-help speakers, and also a lot of scientists, especially correlating the ones who did specific studies into gratitude, that say it's essential. It's incredibly important and impactful on a human life to look at the things that they're grateful for and to focus on them, creating a shift in your reality. Now, whether you believe the woo-woo people, the self-help people, or even some of the scientists that studied this and the placebo effect, it doesn't matter. The first thing you need to do is be grateful for having this point in time in your life where you're able to exist. And trust me, traveling the world to Somalia and India, there's people that have it far, far, far way worse than you do. I didn't have the best of childhoods growing up. I still remember examining kind of my childhood, and you're not going to see me complain about it. You're not going to be seeing me say, I had it so bad, I was poor, and there was fights, and there was violence, and I got beat up, and then you're not going to see me represent it that way. I had a very interesting childhood that made me who I am, that created my attitude, created my temperament, and made me the person that I am, and allowed me to persevere through things that, honestly, I don't think a lot of people would have the strength to persevere. It made me very strong, and I am extremely grateful for those opportunities and moments that made me who I am, that tested me to my core, and established me as the human being that I am right now. That positive reframe changes me from a victim mentality, from a mentality of a creative, manifesting, grateful one that right now in the world will have a far better time dealing with controversy, dealing with problems than the average person who sees themselves as a victim. I'm not a victim. I am a human being like everyone else experiencing this reality with you. And to me, there's no freaking reason why you shouldn't be grateful for experiencing it right now. That's my take on it. What do you guys think? Am I delusional? Am I one of those woo-woo hippie speakers now? Do you have a different perspective? I love having this kind of discussion and conversation with my audience. You guys always provide a lot of deeper context. And of course, this is a video that I'm kind of doing very differently than I normally do. I don't just want to bombard you with headlines anymore. I'm going to, of course, talk about the news that is very important. And I'm going to talk about the important information that we as a society, we as a humanity need to kind of understand. But at the same time, I want to do something that the news media doesn't do and talk about issues that, of course, they'll never address. When on CNN would you hear Wolf Blitzer be like, okay, guys, take some time out for yourself, stop consuming the media, meditate a little bit, relax, don't worry. You don't have to, things are going to be fine. When do you hear that? You won't. And you never will. You will hear it on independent media. That, of course, is getting attacked by the mainstream media. We're getting attacked viciously, slandered, because of this kind of alternative information, alternative messaging. And, of course, YouTube is also screwing us over in favor of the mainstream media. Now, gee, I wonder why. A multinational, huge corporation that is as powerful as some countries in the world, as rich as some countries in the world, is prioritizing a special interest cartel conglomerate that has been selling people war and disinformation for special interest. Gee, I wonder why they're screwing over independent media. But because we're getting screwed over, I sincerely want to thank everyone who goes to wearechange.org/donate. If it wasn't for your donations, if it wasn't for your support, if it wasn't for you getting involved and just giving $5 a month, we wouldn't be here. And you incentivizing either by sharing this video or donating $5 a month means the absolute world to me. And without you, I wouldn't exist. And that's why sincerely from the bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful for you for allowing me to do this for you. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. Love you. Stay tuned for more.